a madman gun. A man that go kill with this is really mad. It will kill. This
you better watch out.
is a M1 carbine, 32 rounds. I can go tab Lewis Park with this. I can kill about 32 people if I hit them all.
Guns.
All about shooting, taking them out.
Yes.
And when they come shoot us, we go back and shoot them.
As he became more successful, Tupac Shakur dramatized in his music what he called the thug life. His aim, he said, was not to try and stop the violence, but to make those in the gangs who were killing each other realize that they could turn the violence outwards instead and fight back against those who really oppressed them. But Shakur had begun to suspect that maybe many people didn't really want change, that they were happy living in their own fairy tale world of gangs and violence.
Now, if we do want to live the thug life and the gangster life and all of that, okay, so stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something, they was that tough, all right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out of here. Let's do something. But they don't want to do that.
In response, Shakur was accused by a number of the gangs of simply using them, that he was sucking out details of their lives and then acting it out in his music to make himself rich, that he wasn't real. In response, Tupac tried to become more and more part of that world to prove his authenticity.
You know, see, grab your blocks when you see Tupac. Call the cops when you see Tupac. Who shot me, but your pumps didn't finish. Now you're about to feel the wrath of a menace. Nigga, I hit him up.
But then the black radicals accused him of getting lost in the character he had created. But really, he was reinforcing and intensifying the violence, not changing it.
You're not telling me anything.
One radical wrote, "Thug ambition is completely predatory, because it is driven by an individualism that deliberately avoids the fellow feeling and the group solidarity needed by revolutionaries." In 1994, Shakur was sent to jail for 5 months for raping a 17-year-old girl. Shakur found himself in the new world of mass incarceration in America. Driven by fears of a wave of violent crime, President Clinton had brought in tough new crime laws, even though in reality, crime was falling.
Shut the fuck up and move, motherfucker!
Hundreds of thousands of young black men were now imprisoned with no hope of parole, even for minor offences. It seemed to show that President Clinton cared more about the fears of the white middle-class voters than he did about the lives of young black men. While the white radicals, who were buying Tupac Shakur's music, did nothing to challenge it. By moving radical politics into the world of culture, Tupac Shakur had also become part of the fairy tale world, because he helped keep the anger and the dissent sealed off from the real world of politics and power. And now, he was all alone.
Trust nobody. Trust nobody.
After dog.
You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything turned on me. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that. Fear is stronger than love. All the love I gave didn't mean nothing when it came to fear. So it's all good. But I'm a soldier, I always survive. I constantly come back. You know what I mean? Only thing that can kill me is death. That's the only thing that'll ever stop me is death.
But then it got more complicated, because human beings were also exposed to the avalanche of data online. And they started to behave in very much the same way as Geoffrey Hinton's artificial intelligence machines. They too spent vast amounts of time searching through all the data, looking for patterns, links, and coincidences that had no obvious meaning. But being human beings, they then turned them into fantastic, elaborate stories. They were called conspiracy theories. Years before, Kerry Thornley and his friend Greg Hill had started what they called Operation Mindfuck. They had spread the conspiracy theory that the Illuminati were really the secret rulers of the world. They had done it to parody and ridicule all conspiracy theories, because they thought that they undermined the confidence of individuals and made them easier to control. But now, in the mass of data online, those stories about the Illuminati got mixed up with other conspiracies, both true and false. And out of it came extraordinary, dreamlike stories built out of fragments of truth and fiction. Millions of people became convinced that all the major stars, from Britney Spears to Beyoncé, were being manipulated and controlled by the Illuminati. The theory said that the Illuminati had worked with the CIA and their MKUltra project, and with Walt Disney, to create a new system of mind control. The stars' videos contained hidden messages, above all images of triangles put there by the Illuminati. Telltale clues to what is really happening. But one star had anticipated this. In 2012, the Coachella Festival and Dr. Dre used computers and fragments of data from the past to reconstruct Tupac Shakur on stage, and an album Tupac had recorded just before his death was also released. He had called it Killuminati. And in it, Shakur had attacked the way the black community was already in the 1990s retreating into conspiracy theories about the Illuminati. They were doing it, he said, to avoid confronting the very real powers that did control their lives. His message was simple, that suspicion was just another form of control.